What's up, everybody? It is Friday. It is September 30th. We're going to talk about Ripple. We're going to talk about Twitter, Jack Dorsey, some pretty interesting text between him and Elon Musk. We're to talk also about rental rates that are going on throughout the country and where you might see some house sales going up. Very strange to hear that right now, but here we go. First one we are going to jump into is Ripple. So the judge orders now the SEC to turn him and documents over to Ripple Labs after the dispute that's been going on for a few months. Basically, they're overruling the SEC's second attempt to withhold these documents related to the former division director, William Hinman, who said Bitcoin and Ether are, quote, not securities, end quote. He basically stated in his speech that ETH was not a security. Ripple Labs considered that a key piece of evidence that the case the SEC has against Ripple, alleging that the sales of Ripple violated the U.S. security laws, the time has yet to tell whether that language used in the speech will be used as meaningful as the company suggests, but basically saying there's a bunch of confusion because this is what this former director said on record. Everyone can see it and hear it, but we're trying to figure out what exactly the SEC is going to stand with and stand by, if anything. So the judge is ordering those documents to get sent over to Ripple for their review. Moving on to the next one, Uniswap raising about or over $100 million in new funding. Early stages of putting together a new round. This is just according to sources. This is not anything confirmed. They have not confirmed this on their website, blogs, Twitter, nothing, right? So they're saying they're engaging with a number of investors, allegedly, including Polychain and one of Singapore's sovereign funds to raise about $100 to $200 million at a valuation of $1 billion. Others are saying, that this is going to be, a big thing. So we'll see what happens with Uniswap. But if they can raise between $1 and $200 million in new funding round, kind of on par with what we talked about yesterday with Cardano raising their funds as well. Very similar amount. This is kind of funny. If you saw the thing about Chase this week, Masari here, Ryan Selkis from Masari, basically saying, Bitcoin, right? Looking at the trades where this is from Chase, JP Morgan, if you all remember, Jamie Dimon is not a big fan of Bitcoin. He, has called it everything from Ponzi scheme to, you name it, right? But when they put out, this is from this week for this is Chase putting out some of their figures here, where they're seeing return volatilities based on monthly annualized volatility since 2015, but the return projection and volatilities, right? So the projected excess return, if you can look global equities all the way down to private debt, the biggest number that sticks out there is 38.1% return with Bitcoin. So for being, and again, I get it, everyone's calling this guy out for the hypocrisy that the company's pushing out versus what he's saying in public. But this is their charts. This is their data. This is what their projections are. 38.1% on Bitcoin. Just, nothing else is really coming close on their list besides maybe private equity. So for what it's worth, a very, very confusing message. Jack Dorsey and Elon allegedly sent some text back and forth, right? And essentially saying that Jack wanted Twitter to be an open source public protocol, basically like Signal. If you ever used the Signal app for texting with people, he wanted that sort of model to come to Twitter. Basically saying the advertising model that it currently has is no good. That gives that an area that the government advertisers will then continue to control, which we've seen, right? If it has a centralized entity behind, he says it will be attacked, right? So he likes that whole, no control over the public protocol. So not sure what's going to happen with Elon Twitter, but whatever. The block is now saying that BlackRock is launching an ETF in Europe with blockchain and crypto company exposure. This is launched on iShares, they're saying, and the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, has increasingly been engaging in crypto, having recently announced the launch of the private trust offering direct exposure to Bitcoin. I'm going to move into some real estate. Right here, again, I do 50% of this show. I try to do crypto, 50% in real estate. So this is according to Fox Business. They're seeing U.S. new home sales unexpectedly surge in August. New home price growth rise at a slowest pace since 2020. But what they're saying is as these mortgage rates are going up and high home prices, to basically edge the prospective home buyers out of the market, which everyone knows. But they're saying new single-family home purchases rose nearly 29% seasonally adjusted annual rate of 685,000 units, according to the Commerce Department on Tuesday. Economists surveyed expected new home sales, which is a very small percentage of the total sales, to fall 2.2% last month. But on an annual basis, new home sales are down just 0.1%, which is, again, pretty promising. It's a basically a silver lining, I guess, in the sea of what we're in. Spain, looking into some international real estate. Now, I didn't know this, but Spaniards typically like fluctuating rates, variable. And just recently, okay, they've jumped into fixed rates, right? So the share of Spanish households for house purchases with a fixed rate was a record high of 80% in July of this year, peaking to 81% the month before. But the percentage is a result of a complete reversal, they're saying, of a financial model of residential real estate in Spain in over a decade, driven by the low interest rate environment. Obviously, they had very, very, very low interest rates. That's why the fixed rates were a very small percentage of that. But now we're seeing this, increase in repayments from the interest rate hiking, and having to prove, hey, you're creditworthy, and that is curbing people from taking these variable rates. Just thought it was interesting to share because obviously talking about U.S. real estate a lot, it's interesting to see what's going on in other countries, and interesting and intriguing markets like Spain. Moving into some rents. This is from August and Realtor.com. Americans spent 26% of their income on rents, right? So when you look at these metrics, they show from overall median rent, studio, 1 bed, 2 bed, okay, change from August 2021, the prior year, right? We're seeing that renters are feeling this strain, obviously 26% of their income, as Americans are spending, obviously they're saying 26.4 to be exact on the monthly budgets and rents in August, according to this data. 50 largest metros, the coastal areas obviously top the list of the least affordable, and highest shares of household incomes in Miami, LA, and San Diego. I'm going to show you that chart here so you can kind of see exactly how it's broken down August 2022 and all the way back to August 20, a year prior. And in these markets from Miami all the way down to Chicago, all pretty major markets. And obviously Riverside's not a huge market, but in Providence, but you get what I'm saying. You can kind of have an idea across the country. They're mainly coasts, but you have Chicago in there, and you can kind of see where these rents are kind of how much they've come up in the monthly household income each year as well. It's just for reference, right? From 2021 to 2022. So you can kind of see what the rents are looking like. People are struggling there as well. So hope you all have a great rest of your Friday. I do crypto, I do real estate. If you find value in this kind of content, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit me up in the comments. Let me know if there's anything you think I missed or what you feel I should be doing, to share more with you. I try to get the most important stories each day so you don't have to go look for them yourself and give you the breakdown of what I feel is the most pertinent things to share with you. So have a great rest of your Friday. I'll see you tomorrow on the stream.